Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Saturday morning here in Thailand, and we know what that means. It's time for our weekly live program. And we've got a comment from Scarface, SKR Face, saying the air quality in Nonthaburi is 177 this morning. And indeed, both the commentary, basically up to date, people have been chatting online for the past 10 minutes or so, and also some of our main news stories today focus on air quality. But it's taken a little bit of a different twist, and in fact, Chiang Mai, or the administrative organisation up there for the province, is suing the government over air quality. Now, this is definitely taking a different turn. I don't exactly know what that means. I don't know what happens if the government goes, nah. So it's going to be an interesting situation, but let's start by going through this particular story. And good morning, everybody, and great to have you with us. Good news for those people that enjoy the Grumpy Old Men program. It's a coffee machine there in the background. I'll tell you about that in a sec. Grumpy Old Men will be back tomorrow. So if you enjoy that program, Steve and I will be waxing lyrical on the microphone. We're going to record it today. Steve has been, as I've mentioned during the week, very accommodating with his time. I've just been flat out busy and simply haven't been able to fit it in. Probably can't really fit it in today, but I think Steve enjoys the program. I enjoy doing it too because it's sort of not news, and some of you seem to enjoy our repartee. And Reg says, Merry Christmas. Indeed, yes, Merry Christmas to you too. Merry Christmas to everybody for 2024. Just getting in nice and early. For those people asking what that is, it's basically a pair of wings, and it's sort of a selfie. People stand there in front of it and look like they're flying or something like that. Check mic levels very loud. When you say very loud, okay, so it's sort of booming there. I'll pull it back a little bit. Sorry if the 1 2 check. How's that? So tell us if the mic levels are better. Yeah, Tim's mic gain is a bit high, so that should be better. And yeah, okay. Tell us if it's right. I'm sorry if I got that much better. Thank you. Sorry, everybody. So let's go to this Thai PBS. Talking about air quality, and court orders government to form urgent plan to address PM 2.5. And the administrative court in Chiang Mai yesterday ordered the Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin and the National Environmental Board to draw up an emergency plan within 90 days to deal with PM 2.5 pollution in the northern provinces and to develop short and long-term plans to deal with it. Seems to me that it's sort of largely symbolic, not necessarily something anybody can make stick. But anyway, this is what's happening. The court's ruling marks a rare victory for civil society in the northern region, so says this government-funded news source, putting pressure on the government to take concrete action to deal with PM 2.5 pollution, which has been a threat to the health of people in the region for many years. And it says in the ruling, the court said it had received information from several state agencies, and they're all listed there, stating that the levels of PM 2.5 in the atmosphere in numerous northern provinces, including Chiang Mai, Mae Hong Son, Nan, Lampang, Lamphun, Sukhothai and Phitsanulok. And those people who laugh at my Thai pronunciation, you've got a field day there, has exceeded 100 microns per cubic metre during the dry season since 2017. So that's the way it's been reported in Thai PBS World. And it's also, it's a little bit more from them. The court noted that neither the Prime Minister nor the National Environment Board have called urgent meetings to address the problem since 2017. Of course, the Prime Minister for most of that time was Prayut Chan-o-cha. It's also being reported in Bangkok Post. Their heading Chiang Mai court gives government 90 days for plan to combat smog. And just part of that story, last year both Bangkok and Chiang Mai in the north repeatedly ranked among the most polluted cities globally, prompting concerned citizens to file a legal case compelling government action. How many? Well, about 1,700 people, including activists, academics from Chiang Mai University and local residents, brought a lawsuit in the Administrative Court against the PM and the National Environment Commission for failing to tackle the annual dense smog over the region, which they said is shortening their lives by about 5 years. That's the way it's being reported in Bangkok Post. And that article finishes with this. As of early yesterday morning, Bangkok ranked 10th on the global list of cities with the poorest air quality, according to data from air pollution monitoring firm IQ Air. IQ Air is the one that we always refer to. I think when you're using these air quality reporting websites, the best thing is to use just one, so you've just got this consistency. Some of them use different parameters, but it's best to use one. We do use IQ Air at iqair.com. So what's it like today? Well, this is IQ Air, and we're looking, I suppose, for anything that's registering unhealthy. That's red, or sort of a dark pink, or above that, purple, and then very, very dark purple. And we've got Karachi in Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan. I mean, these cities often come up in the top 10. I mean, almost every day. And then we go Yangon, Kabul, Kampala, Astana in Kazakhstan, Hanoi in Vietnam, and then number 12 today is Bangkok in Thailand, with an average AQI reading of 155, which is 37 is set as the upper limit. So 37, 155, it's like 4 or 5 times. So 4 or 5 times the upper limit, which is allowed, before the government apparently do something. So I bet what most of the government are doing today is sleeping in. I don't think any of them really give a shit about this particular issue. I don't know why. I think the press are just going to go hard on this. I think the people in the comment section, not my comment section, but all the other comment section, is going to go hard on this particular issue. And at some stage, it's going to come back and shit in their face. Pardon the language. So Bangkok number 10, and if we have a look at the actual IQ Air, let's fold in my sleeves down. That's Bangkok this morning, just a sea of red with a little bit of purple down there in the southwest as well. You can look all the way down to Pattaya, and it's also in the red, which means it's got serious air pollution, no matter which way you want to measure it. So Bangkok, a sea of red this morning, and all I can say to the government is shame, shame, shame. Now, having said that, of course, in some cases, there's not a lot they can do about it. This time of the year, there are light winds. It's not really blowing much of the air pollution away that could be caused by industrial air pollution, vehicle emissions, etc. But you've also got fires in a place nearby to Bangkok. It's only like 2 or 3 hours drive to the Cambodian border. And as we've seen it over the past couple of weeks, a lot of forest fires and plantation fires in Cambodia, and a lot of that is affecting Bangkok. Now, once they start burning in northern Myanmar and northern Thailand, of course, as well as northern Laos, that's really going to affect Chiang Mai and the north and northeastern provinces here in Thailand. So let's see what you're saying about all this, and looks like everybody's still talking about the sound. Uncle Bob L, morning from Mornington, my hometown where I was born in 1999. Sun is out. It might even get warm. Hey Tim, have you thought about applying for Thai citizenship, given you've been there for so long? Well, no. The issue about Thai citizenship is not really much to do with how long you've been here. By the way, the noise you hear in the background, this is a coffee shop. It's Chip Fair Le, and just as bad as hard to say as Thai Mueang. I'm along the main road. Can I turn the camera around? I'm not sure if it's on auto or not. No, it's not on auto, so it'll you won't see a very good picture, so I won't bother pointing it out towards the view. Suffice to say, the main road is about 8 metres away from me, and then we've got the Andaman Sea, which is about 50, 60 metres away from me. Thai citizenship. To get Thai citizenship, one, you need to be able to speak Thai. I can't speak Thai because the interview is conducted in the Thai language. And if you can't demonstrate some working ability to speak in Thai, it's all over. It's quite expensive and it can take a long time. Now, I do actually have two friends who are going through the process of getting Thai citizenship. And I think they're still clipping on your mic. Oh God, don't talk dead-eye. Just talk in normal layman's language. I don't understand a lot of the stuff you're saying there. They've been trying for, in one case, about 12 years and another one about 10 years. So it's not as if you can just apply for this down at the immigration office and it's given a stamp and you pay 5,000 baht and it's all over and done with. It is a very slow process. Now, a tier down from that, the other question I would sort of say is, really, what are the advantages? Okay, you probably don't have to go down to the immigration office every 90 days, or in my case, I don't go to immigration anyway. I get an agent to do it for me. So, what is the advantage of Thai citizenship? If you're trying to save money, well, you're not going to do it by applying for and working through the process of getting Thai citizenship, because, as I said, it's quite expensive. Probably a better person to speak about that, if you're interested, would be somebody like Ben Hart from Integrity Legal, who is indeed a Thai citizen and has been through that process before. Got to commend Tim for Nerves of Steel hosting in a public place. Well, there's actually no one here this morning, just me at this time. Having said that, usually there is a swarm. Is that the collective noun? A swarm of... I can probably turn this... No, it's not very... I'm not sure what the problem with the mic is. A swarm of bike riders. So let's just see how we're going. 135 AQI in Hua Hin. Thank you from Singular James. Deadeye, I think there's still audio clipping on your mic. I heard 32-bit float. Setting for audio should improve clipping maybe. No idea what you're talking about, but thank you very much for being concerned. Scarface, that's correct. I don't speak Thai. So unless you can speak Thai, and learning a language is more than just being diligent and doing the hard work. Some people are just good at learning languages and others aren't. I'm good at... what am I good at? Well, I'm not really good at anything, especially not learning languages. I did 7 years of French at school, and I remember when I first arrived in Paris for a trip and I rolled up at the metro station to book a ticket, and I think in my head I said I'd like to get a ticket to Paris, and they stared at me like I'd just arrived from outer space and was a total moron. I had no idea what I was talking about. And I realised I'd wasted 7 years of those, half-hour lessons learning French. Since living here in Thailand, I think I learned pretty much all the Thai I know now in those first 3 months, where I soaked up enough to sort of be able to order food and say hello and all the sort of basic greetings. I don't love you, all those important sort of phrases. But beyond that, I've probably gone backwards, to be honest. I went through trying to learn a word a day. I went to lessons with other people, lessons by myself. I tried to learn the alphabet, which I rudely describe as the squiggles. And I tried to learn, like 3 words a day. So I've tried everything to try and open my mind up to learning the Thai language, because I realise someone like Steve, who speaks quite good Thai, I mean, you really just open up a whole new part of your life to living in this culture if you can actually speak the lingo. So even if you speak Thai in Thailand, you'll always be treated as a foreigner. But I think if you do speak the lingo, it does open up just a different aspect of Thai life for you. And obviously you can just have a whole lot of extra additional friends. And most of my friends, of course, they have to speak English. Otherwise, we can't really communicate. Something I'll discuss with Steve today is getting my current house built and working with a very diligent, very honest, and skilled handyman he's done the renovations on the other 2 beach houses. But I'll describe the process about communicating with him when I have a talk to Steve. It's exhausting, but I'll get to that during Grumpy Old Men, which will be up at around about 8 a.m. tomorrow. What else have we got here? A lot of people saying, comment, the air quality in Nonthaburi is 177 this morning. Good morning, Tim. Air in Bangkok is terrible. Well, I think, Tom, as we've checked, it is indeed terrible. Adjust your speakers. People talking about the mic. I think we've got the mic sorted out. Okay, good morning, Tim. Have you read any additional news on the possible extension to days granted on arrival between drinks? Oh, my God. It's like somebody, 2 or 3 people, I think the Thai Inquirer did some sort of story about it, Thai Inquirer, and then Ben grabbed on it. He read that Thai Inquirer story. It was quoting some government official saying, I don't know. I don't really know what they said. I can't recall. It wasn't very strong though, but I think it said they were looking at perhaps extending the visa waiver for visitors, I think, from Europe. Up to 90 days. But I can assure you that's just hasn't been spoken about since. Now, I did mention something during the week. Some other official mentioned very broadly that they were looking at possible extensions of visas and things, but there's been nothing concrete. The Tourism Authority hasn't said anything about it. That's the TAT. The Tourism and Sports Ministry hasn't mentioned it. The Prime Minister, who's really been pushing tourism, and if anybody was going to be speaking about it, he would. Nothing. So if you're waiting to come to Thailand for an extended visa waiver, you could be waiting forever, because as far as I know, for most countries, that's not in the mix. Now, it could be announced tomorrow for all I know, but nothing has been said since November last year. So can I politely say to everybody, stop asking that question. If anything is said that's slightly concrete or that I think's got a possibility of happening, believe me, I'll mention it. But as for now, nothing. So let's forget about asking those questions, because there's just nothing being said, as I've said for the past 3 months or so. By the way, I'm not bashing you there. It's just I get the question so often, and I don't know why I keep getting the question when I keep on reinforcing the fact that there's nothing being published in the media. Okay, let's just scroll down and see what else is happening today. Oh, we've got a super chat. Scott, so reliable. Scott D, all the way from a very cold Chicago, and good morning to you. Scott's got an offer. He's saying coffee's on me. Thank you very much. Indeed, enjoyed. I've had 2 coffees this morning. I had 1 latte and this an Americano. Why is it called an Americano? Didn't Americans have milk? I think they did. Anyway, that was an Americano, which is long gone. Hello from a frigid Chicago, says Scott, with a bizarre expectation of rain next week. You can keep that all yourself, Scott. I don't do anything under 20 degrees. I will never travel to a country where it's lower than 20 degrees because I don't have to, and I don't want to, and I don't like cold weather. And for all my friends who say, oh, don't you sort of miss Melbourne's weather, and don't you get sick of it being 32 every day? No, I don't. Swarm of bikes, I believe it's a pack of bikers. So Arnold Ziffel talking about the collective noun for bicycle riders who are, and look, I do have friends who are cyclists, but I can't quite get around all the lycra outfits and the clip-clop shoes and the whole look. I don't know. It doesn't seem anybody's like breaking out of the pack and trying to look, independent or interesting. Everybody's dressed the same way. But they all wear those bike helmets, which are all sort of streamlined and aerofoiled. Like you're going about, I don't know, 20, 25 kilometres an hour. Does it really matter? Oh dear, haters, jump in. Look, I don't really. Some people I know back in Melbourne, they were really anti-cyclists, like in a very nasty way. I'm not quite like that, but they were introducing a lot of bicycle paths, and cyclists were given a whole lot of rights that other motorists didn't seem to have. Anyway, quite different here in Thailand. I think unless you're coming to a place like Thai Mueang, which is very, very quiet, you'd be mad to get on a bike just about anywhere in Thailand. Motorcycle maybe, but being on a bike, you got a lot to keep in mind, and you want to have 17 rear view mirrors if you're going to be on a bike here in Thailand, I would have thought. What else have we got? And we'll get into the digital wallet scheme in just a moment. Here in Melbourne, speech dynamics are fine. Comment, we want a Baz cameo. Baz is not here today. Tim, what is your mic model? I'm sort of worried about lifting this up. I've had this for about 10 or 11 years. It's called a Yeti. It's a bit bashed around. The brand is blue. It's called a Yeti, Y-E-T-I. It came in silver, white, black, I don't know, came in metallic something or other, but I got the black one because it sort of looks nasty. Well, it's the one that doesn't really show up as much. But it's been a very reliable mic, and I'm sorry if the sound quality's down, but it seems to look fine as it's leaving from here. It's funny how the owners are just sort of quietly creeping around as I'm doing the program. G'day from Steak and Kidney in Pattaya from 14th of February. Woohoo! Steak and Kidney, which is Australian slang for Sydney. Okay, Reg Dunlop says, Tim, have you thought about doing the show at a monastery? I don't think they have a cappuccino machine there. Yes, Reg, but I wouldn't be able to get a cappuccino now, would I? So I think I might be a bit noisy for a monastery. But then again, I do have the hairstyle, so I'd fit in quite well. Get in those saffron robes and I'd just slip in nicely. A spandex of bikies. Hans, that's pretty good. When I think of bikies, I'm sort of thinking about larger, hairier gentlemen wearing leather on bikes that are far too big for them, with far too much engine capacity, making far too much noise. That's what I think of as a bikie, and occasionally being involved in activities that are not necessarily fully legal. I know that because I used to live next to a bikie gang back in Yarraville, Victoria. That was interesting. Got a few stories for you if you ever turn up for a lunch one day. I've been married to a Thai 6 years and still only know one word meanings. Nong Wua So, there you go. I mean, some people pick up Thai and they look at me thinking I'm insane. When Thai people say, how long have you lived here? I say, 13 years. And they start talking Thai to me and I just feel like an idiot. And I think that's what they think as well. A gaggle of cyclists. Daryl McGee, good morning to you and thank you very much for your support of the program. Double thumbs up from me. Let's go to this next story and appreciate everybody. I'm getting a bit sort of stuck on the comment section. But then again, it is your program. Let's go to this story from Thai PBS World. PM confirms delayed launch of digital wallet scheme. And the Prime Minister, Srettha Thavisin, has confirmed today a delay, this is yesterday, to the launch of the digital wallet scheme. This is the 10,000 baht, which was going to be given out to every Thai citizen over the age of 18 years old. And it was a promise from the Per Thai party during the election campaign. You might call it vote buying. I'll leave that up to you. but no cancellation. It's just being postponed, adding that he wants to receive official recommendation from the national anti-graft body first. And speaking on Wednesday, the Deputy Finance Minister also admitted that the scheme originally set for May will be postponed so the government can consider all information involved. The big question is, will this ever happen? I suspect not. And the government is seeking the issuance of a bill to authorise the borrowing of 500 billion baht to fund the scheme. So when the government pay out this 10,000 baht to every Thai citizen, are they going to be spending it on the Thai economy? Are they going to be buying a imported TV? Are the government going to say you can only spend it on Thai-made items? I don't know. Some of the original considerations were that you could only spend it within a couple of kilometres of where you live. That's all changed, but I suspect it might be postponed for a long time. Minimum, it's going to be very much altered from what was promised during the election campaign, which is my prediction. Another thing we're going to be talking about this morning is vaping and its use among young teens. We'll get to that story, but we're just going to go through some of the other comments coming through. Do the show from a go-go bar. Well, yeah, but doing it at 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning, I'm just wondering how many people would be to go-go bar besides the cleaners and the people cleaning those poles. I don't think there would be many people there. Interesting idea. I can also suggest that there are already a lot of YouTubers who do sort of ply those bars and do the live shows, and I'd urge you to catch up with one of those programs if that's your scene. Tim, check the mic is good. Not sure what else can improve the quality. It's okay for most time, but comment from Robbie. Leave Melbourne 10:30 p.m. tonight for Bangkok. Not looking forward to pollution. I hope it's better up past Korat. Yeah, it is certainly a bit better up in northeast Thailand at the moment. Robbie, so good luck with your journey. Tell us how you're getting to Bangkok. Are you flying through Singapore with Scoot or Singapore Airlines or Qantas, or are you flying with Jetstar Direct? Be interested to know. And Geezer Break also jumping into the plural of bikers. A group of lycra-wearing cyclists are known as a bulge. A bulge of cyclists. Not in all cases. Okay, what else have we got here? Hit that like button, please, says Pat Thai. Thank you very much, Pat Thai, for the thumbs up there. The air in Udon is pretty good today. Yes, just looking at the maps, northern Thailand and northeast Thailand are doing okay, but wait till the burning season starts up there in northern Thailand. I think you're going to find things are going to get a little bit smoky. I've been told if you were born one place and work another, you would not get the money. I missed what you're talking about there. If the 1,000 baht are not 10,000 baht, even more will vote for Peter next time. Alpha Bravo, you're absolutely right. At the moment, the government's really under the pump with the air pollution issue. It's sort of winding back of the 10,000 baht digital wallet, or sort of framed as a postponement at the moment. And these are sort of things that will, I'm sure, change people's votes. Then again, if the Move Forward Party was to form a government, what would they do about air pollution? What could they actually physically do? I mean, so far, I think this current Prime Minister is very well meaning and wanting to do something urgently about the air pollution problem, but nothing so far. He hasn't been able to make one small dint in the air pollution. In fact, I'd say for the first, we're into the third week of January, Bangkok's had some of the worst air pollution ever. And I'm sure the records would probably support that. We'll have to wait and see. What else we got? Singular James just crowdfund a Shure SM7B for Tim. Best broadcast mic around, that or the Shure MV7, which has a USB out and requires no interfaces. Dynamic microphones will reduce background noise as well. Well, this mic just plugs in. It's a USB. It's plugging directly into... I'll show you down here. There it is, plugging directly into... That's that one there. It's a USB direct plug-in. Doesn't require any interfaces. Oh, here we are. We've got a whole lot of cyclists. I know they're driving straight past. Or are they going to turn around? I think they're turning around. We do have a bulge of cyclists arriving, so get ready for the click, clack, click, clack. Who else zoomed to the girls behind Tim? Oh, did I? Come on. Saturday morning. Okay, let's just go down to Bill G. Bill, thank you very much for your kind and very generous support. Your news program is my source of Thai news. I appreciate your efforts. It's part of my daily things to get done. I even enjoy your snarky opinions from time to time. I don't know where I've got my snarky, sarcastic tongue from. I don't know. Here we go. Clip, clap, clip, clap, clip, clap.
Good morning. Double espresso.
He's from England. Foggy here in BKK. And what else have we got? Just, okay, to Singular James, if I got a new mic and it was perhaps better quality than this, the thing is, it all comes down to what people are listening on as well. Are they listening to me on an iPhone with speakers about that big? Or are they listening through 1,000 baht headphones or even more? So it's not just the mic, it's also the way that people are receiving it. Also, if they've got full bandwidth, otherwise the bandwidth can cut down the sound quality. So there's a whole lot of things that can determine how you're listening or how the voice is sounding. If you can't hear me now, it's only going to get louder. So I'll just move in a bit closer to the mic. So let's go a little bit further. Keep the semi-formal style, Tim. Your diction and style are spot on. A road hog of bikers, says cha-cha-cha. See if one of them comes up to say hello. I don't think any of them know me from a bar of soap. So see if somebody comes up to say hello. Wait, you can zoom in on YouTube? I think you can. Pinch. Okay, anyway, Bill, thank you very, very much. Appreciate your generosity. I just wanted to talk about quitting YouTube for a moment. And not me. It's just been a topic on YouTube over the past couple of weeks. There's been a couple of very high-profile YouTubers who have quit the platform over the past... I'll just turn that down a little bit more. Can I turn that down? There we go. So, yeah, hopefully the sound's still okay. I've just lowered the gain and just moving it a bit closer to the mic to try and cut out some of the noise behind me. So, there has been quite a few YouTubers who have been around for, maybe 10 years or more, who are either quitting the platform or are cutting down on the platform.
I've worked in those for years.
Oh, come and say hello.
Who are you talking to?
About 10,000 people.
10,000?
Yes. What's your name?
My name's John.
This is John, and you're from the UK.
No, I'm from the Isle of Man. Longest continuous government in the world, I'll have you know.
Oh, really?
Motorbike racing, mostly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But isn't that near the UK?
It's part of the British Isles, but it's not the United Kingdom.
Right.
We're very particular about that.
Listening to your accent, I'm thinking, yeah, from the UK.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Who are you talking to?
All these people.
Yeah, on what subject?
About Thailand.
Okay, great country.
Oh, a great country. And we were just we were trying to come up with a collective noun for bikers. So what's a good collective noun? Somebody said a bulge of bikers.
Peloton.
A peloton. That's very formal.
It's a bit professional.
Yes, there were some that weren't terribly kind, but we won't go through those.
Twats. Yeah.
We were sort of laughing at your Lycra outfits.
Yeah.
We're thinking maybe you should wear something more comfortable.
It's pretty comfortable. They call us mammals, middle-aged men in Lycra. Anyway, I'm going to go grab my coffee.
Good to meet you.
Have a good day, guys.
There you go. So one of them came to say hello. Got no idea who I am. Don't you know who I am? Okay, a bollocks of bikies. Yeah, that'll go down well. I better keep my voice down. I don't think they want to hear that. Mr. Newton, love your channel, says Glass of Beer 12. I've been living in Pattaya right now for over 8 years, but I'm forced to move because of the air. Do you see any solution? Not today. Whatever they're going to do, it's going to take years. It might take an entire generation to fix this air pollution problem. All I can say is if you have a look at the air quality maps, the further south you go, the better the air. In Thailand anyway. Once you start getting into Malaysia, then you're sort of getting into more of Malaysia's regional problems, and some of those involve burning in northern Sumatra in Indonesia, and that floats across the Malacca Strait and affects Malaysia. A bunch of bikers, that's not bad. Anyway, we were talking, we get so easily distracted. We were talking about quitting YouTube. Why are these YouTubers quitting? Why are there so many YouTubers starting to quit the platform? Well, I think there's a few things going on here. One, it's getting very competitive. I mean, every single day there's another, 100 people sign up thinking that they're going to make their fortune on YouTube. And when they ask young people these days to fill in a survey, what do you want to be when you grow up? I mean, when I was young, it used to be a policeman or a fireman or, I think I wanted to be an airline pilot. Well, I became a pilot, not quite an airline pilot, but I did become a pilot. And I think these days, when you ask that same question, kids want to be YouTubers when they grow up. They sort of see people on, making lots of money and getting lots of views. But let me tell you, it is at the end of the day a job. A lot of people do it for fun. I mean, Steve largely does it for fun, for example. And I think he finds it quite therapeutic getting all his ideas out and shares them with everybody else. Sometimes on grumpy old men. And I think a lot of other people see it as a creative outlet. But if you actually want to turn YouTube into a business, then it is a job. And it's hard work. Like I spend 3.5 hours every day doing this program. Now, at the moment, I'm not getting a 3.5 hour financial return for that sort of a time commitment. But I'm hoping one day it might pay off. I do sort of look after it. What did I say? I do. I'm thinking about 18 other things and trying to read the comments at the same time. I do enjoy it, but it also, I also understand that it is a job. Now, you can sort of ramp up the whole situation and get an editor, get a writer. You might get some other presenters, but they've all got to be paid. Now, if I had to pay an editor or a presenter, I wouldn't be making any money at all. So I have to do this by myself. I'll get a pretty co-host to sit next to you. Fine, that's a great idea. But, I'd have to pay them. And if I pay them what they're worth, if they were half good, I wouldn't be making any money at all. So YouTube, if you want to take it seriously, is a business like anything else. And I suspect for the people that started out maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they're just finding it much harder to make the same amount of money, get those same views, or get the growth in their channel that they were once getting. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't still hit the jackpot. You can't be a little bit lucky, like those two young South Koreans who just about, they started the channel, 2 or 3 years ago, but in the last 12 months, they've just blown up here in Thailand, and their videos get 1, 2, 3, 4, even 5 million views each, and they do 1 or 2 videos a week. But they're the exception rather than the rule. 99.9% of people that start a YouTube channel will never make a cent from YouTube or make a very small return. I've been at this on this particular channel for 18 months and we're seeing slow, steady growth. But, I'm still not making what I'd call a living out of it, a long way from that. It's hard work. And I think anybody who is on YouTube at the moment is just finding it harder than people that were doing it, say, 10 years ago. And there's a lot more competition. The competition's never been fiercer. There's a lot of AI content which YouTube is trying to grapple with. It's filling up space, and it's taking the attention away from non-AI, or real people like me. Yeah, I'm real. So we're sort of working through this phase of YouTube as well. Interested to know what anybody else thinks. Somebody's saying, is there any more news to report? Yes, Zach, there is some more news to report, but I was talking about people quitting YouTube, which is also news to a degree. Brett Border, thank you very much, Brett, for joining in this morning, and for your... hang on, Zach, I'll be right back to you in a moment. Brett, thank you very much for your generosity. Excuse me. Something in my teeth there. All fixed up now. G'day, hello to everyone. A quick re-ask of a question. Are there specific times of the year or ocean cycles when swimming at the beach there isn't ideal? Yes. Now this beach out here, I'm facing the Andaman Sea, and beyond the Andaman Sea is India. So we're basically on the ocean here. And a little bit further north it would be described as the Bay of Bengal, but down here we're calling it the Andaman Sea. And during the wet season, we get the southwest monsoon. We can get waves 2 metres, and in this particular stretch of beach they can break pretty much on the shore, which makes it fairly dangerous to go swimming there. Not so much once you get 10 metres out offshore, where it's just a sort of a gentle swell, but just getting in and out of the water can be a bit of a test, and I would not recommend it. In fact, I make sure I tell all the guests as I'm shaking my stick at you that I don't recommend going swimming if you got that big swell breaking on the shore. Today it's perfect. It's just waves about this big breaking on the shore, but we've got that full ocean swell coming in here all the time, sometimes higher, sometimes lower. A week ago it was very high, up to 2 metres. Manny Jackson says, yes, Tim, the air in BKK the past 3 days has been horrible. I've been wearing my mask outside because in my 68 years, the past 3 days my chest inside has been tight with hard able to breathe or something like that. Okay, good. Look after yourself, Manny, and maybe stay indoors a bit and keep safe. Turtle Beach have jellyfish or sandflies? No sandflies, glad to report. I remember I went to an island that did have lots of sandflies. It took me about 2 weeks to recover from that. Oh, the itching was amazing. Jellyfish, we do get a few jellyfish. Mostly, so far, it's been stingers, the Portuguese man of war, which when the waves are here, they sort of break them up, but they've still got those little, whatever they're called, the little stingers that sort of float around, and you just get this odd little sting here and there. It's not like you're getting a whole tentacle dragging across your chest or a leg or something, which would be quite painful. These are just annoying little stings. Now, I do wear a stinger top, which is a lycra top, so that the stingers can't penetrate that. So I just pull that on, sort of holds my body in quite firmly. And I usually wear that to go for a swim this time of the year, but the next 3 or 4 months there's probably unlikely to be any problem with jellyfish at all. We don't get the box jellyfish on this side of the Isthmus of Kra. They do have a bit of a problem with box jellyfish, rare, but they do get reports of maybe 1 death a year in the Gulf of Thailand from box jellyfish, but we don't seem to have the box jellyfish over this side in the Andaman Sea. The Queensland Tiger has a comment. How about people quitting Thailand? Many YouTube videos about that for some reason. Interesting, Queensland Tiger. Look, there's always going to be a new lot of expats coming here, and there's going to be a whole lot of expats leaving for whatever reasons. But I still think, if I look at all the retirement options, that Thailand's about as good as any. And if anybody's got other places that they think is better to retire, then I'm very happy to hear about it. But I'm settled here. This is where I'll be spending the rest of my life. Scott D says Natty is an amazing talent who would not come cheap. I'm sure she's career-bound in a positive direction. Furthermore, she's in Bangkok and Zoom wouldn't be ideal. That's right. Now, Natty, Natalie Warisa, I used to work with about 2 years ago up in Bangkok. Natty's a great talent. Now, you know, at the end of the day, someone like Natty, if she was sitting next to me every day, I'd have to pay her 80, 90, 100,000 baht a month for that sort of talent. I don't make anything like that from the YouTube channel. So there goes the profit in one fell swoop. Although, of course, she'd be a great addition to the program. When is Tim's birthday? So I will be 65 on February the 20th. Put it on the calendar. I expect gifts, chocolate minimum. Steve Ross drives away the sandflies. Not sure about that. I recommend that everybody who's retired who lives in Bangkok or Pattaya to move to the name Vietnam because the beaches, the water and the air is much better. Well, that's interesting. I think if I jump on the maps, there will be parts of Vietnam, particularly up in the north, which are just as bad, if not worse, than Bangkok today. Do you dare me? Let's have a look. I can do this live, can't I? So I'll type in, just go to the, press the wrong thing there. Here we go. So I'll type in IQ Air. And we'll go to the map, the full-size map. We'll turn that down. We'll zoom out a little bit. And we'll go to Vietnam, which is sort of up this way. Here we go. I'm going to make myself look really bad here. Okay, yeah, there we go. So that's around Hanoi there, that sort of red area. But yeah, it looks like there is plenty of Vietnam that has much better air quality. Doesn't look like they've got as many monitoring stations as they do in, for example, Thailand. Coming down to South Vietnam, you've got Ho Chi Minh City right down there. What are we doing? That's Southeast Asia. Let's just zoom out. Oh, sorry, everybody. It's sort of lagging behind me a bit. Now, that area doesn't like my finger. You can see by far the worst area is Cambodia. By far. It's dark red and it's also registering a lot of fires. So, look, parts of Vietnam, especially around Da Nang and moving down to the southern coast, there's still plenty of poor air quality there, but it is not, you're correct, as bad as Bangkok, but it's not as if it's clear. However, if you go to southern parts of Thailand, and it's partly behaving, partly. So there you've got Chumpon, Phuket, and you've got all the way down to the Malaysian border. Definitely cleaner air quality as we speak today. Good morning, Tim. You can put coconut oil on your skin when visiting beach with sandflies on them. It will help them away. We don't get sandflies here. Don't have to worry about it. No sandflies. Well, I've been here for 3 or 4 months. So I've never been bitten by a sandfly yet. So if they are here, they haven't been here for the past 3 or 4 months. We will all chip in for Natty. She could fetch 100,000 baht per episode. Arnold, I'd rather you chipped in for me. And really, if you're watching the channel to watch Natty, then I'd suggest you probably try and catch up and see she might be doing something on YouTube already. But she does live in Bangkok at the end of the day, and I'm damn sure she's not going to move down to Turtle Beach. Pattaya Beach smells like they're having a sewage problem, says Gordon Duncan. Let's go and check out some of the other news stories today. We will have a talk about this vaping issue. Vape usage among young teens surging, and it says that a national committee on tobacco has ordered stricter enforcement of laws against e-cigarette sales after a survey revealed that vaping among younger teens has increased more than 5-fold. And the Global Youth Tobacco Survey by the World Health Organization found that the number of Thai students aged 13 to 15 who smoked e-cigarettes had increased 5.3 times compared to 2015 when records were first compiled. 5.3 times. Well, yeah, that's a bit of an epidemic, isn't it? And a doctor who's the chief at the Department of Disease Control says that the research found that e-cigarette smokers are getting younger. He said the number of patients with e-cigarette related disease, especially severe lung infections, has dramatically increased. So that is an issue, the uptake of vaping by young people and the emerging diseases, that respiratory diseases that are created by vaping or indeed exacerbated. Excuse me. I think this whole issue of smoking, it's partly related to the cannabis situation as well. If you suck anything into your lungs, be it a tobacco cigarette, be it cannabis, be it these vaping fluids, there are side effects to all of these. I mean, the best thing, or the only thing you should be sucking into your lungs, is clear air. Anything else is going to eventually bring you undone with some sort of range of problems. So, I mean, do it if you want. Do it probably without bothering the people around you. You're well entitled to do so. It is your body indeed. But be aware that sucking anything into your lungs rather than fresh air is, in the long run, not going to be good for your health. Aloha from Klan Sakau. Nice sunny day here. Get Steve to drag up as Tim co-host. That would satisfy those Natty fans. Steve's retired. He doesn't want to do a daily program. He certainly probably doesn't want to do a daily program with me. He's not really interested in news these days. He likes talking about other things. He's got his own YouTube channel, and we love getting together and doing Grumpy Old Men. But Steve, I'm very, very, very sure, even if I asked him, wouldn't be interested in getting a clean shirt on each day. No, that's not the issue. But he wouldn't be interested in coming to do a news program with me. Comment from Vince Majestic. You could get a volunteer co-host who will use your show as a stepping stone to stardom. Yeah, but a volunteer, are they going to be any good? Do they know anything about the news? Do we have some sort of repartee which makes the show enjoyable to watch? Do I want to focus on trying to look after a co-host or concentrate on the news? You really want a co-host to add to the program rather than being a burden or something that's going to make the program more complicated. Where do I find these volunteer co-hosts? Not going to be many of them around here in Phang Nga. We live in Chiang Mai, go to Da Nang every smoky season for 3 months. Air quality's always been good there. That's from How, What, Why, When and Where. It's a good name. So there, people sort of leaving Thailand every burning season. Be interested to know how many people are actually doing that. Reed says Thailand is the best option in Southeast Asia and the Philippines are the least expensive option, but not the best in my opinion. Vaping is surging in Australia, says Adam Hand. Are you vaping? Have you used vaping as a way to give up cigarettes? Did it help you get off the cigarettes? Or have you found yourself now addicted to vaping and looking at ways that you can try and get rid of vaping as a habit? And for those people who have given up everything, how did you do it? Again, it's going to be very individual for each person. But yeah, look, I find people vaping around me as annoying as people smoking cigarettes. And that's one of the owners there. And I can hear his wife. I think that's... There she is. Lost my left and my right here. So yeah, vaping, very interested. Vaping and vaping fluids, very easy to get in Thailand. And although it is illegal here, I don't think anybody who actually vapes has either got any problem getting the vaping apparatus or the vaping fluids. There seems to be no shortage of them. However, if you are coming to Thailand, I'd probably recommend that you leave your vape back at home and maybe buy something here, because if they find it in your luggage, you could probably be in a little bit of trouble. Because TIT. That's just the way things work here. Okay, another story I had. Now, this relates to a story yesterday where we spoke about Phang Nga and this declaration from the government, from the Department of Mining or the equivalent, that they've now found enough lithium in Phang Nga province. Phang Nga province is where I live, just north of Phuket, that would make it the world's third largest lithium supplier, second to Argentina and Bolivia. Now, I was thinking, if that was true, then we would already know about that. I mean, lithium has been sought after by people making batteries for the last 10 or 20 years. Now, a lot of the electric car technology, the battery technology, is moving away from lithium to other minerals these days, or other chemicals. But lithium is still in demand for some battery makers. Now we go to this story from Bangkok Post. It says Thai lithium deposit figures hotly debated. So yeah, I'm sort of casting doubt over whether Thailand or Phang Nga down here has actually got deposits, making it the third largest supplier of lithium in the world. 15 million tonnes, or less than 70 tonnes. That's how much lithium there is in Thailand, depending on which figures one wants to believe. Big difference, hey? The government spokesperson caused a stir this week when she mentioned Thailand in the same breath as Bolivia and Argentina, two global heavyweights when it comes to the highly sought-after mineral used in electrical vehicle batteries. And this person on Thursday cited figures from the Department of Primary Industries and Mines, which said deposits containing more than 14.8 million tonnes of lithium had been found, most of it in the southern province of Phang Nga. The Department of Primary Industries and Mines has granted special licences to explore for lithium in 3 areas in Takawat Tung district of Phang Nga. I think I've got Takawat Tung and Takawat Pa districts mixed up yesterday. Takawat Tung is to the south and the east of where I live. Takawat Pa is to the north of where I live. And the former, which is Bangi Tum, the former was part of a major tin mining region up to the mid-1980s. So, yeah, whether suddenly we're going to see a whole lot of people coming down with their pans, I don't know, how do you get lithium out of the ground? But I'm not sure if there's going to be some lithium boom in Phang Nga, and I think that they might have got their numbers a bit mixed up. And that's really the context of that article, the questions. It was quite complicated explaining why they thought they got their numbers wrong. But you can read that article in the Bangkok Post, and the article is titled Thai Lithium Deposit Figures Hotly Debated. So there you go. I was a bit... I was reading the story yesterday, and I was reading it. I was saying, no, this is bullshit. It can't possibly be true. Because I'm positive they would have known about it 10, 20 years ago if it was a real thing. Pad Thai, does that mean you will be walking and glowing at the same time? Thank you for your answer. Cha-cha-cha. Moving away from lithium to sodium. Thank you very much, Peter O'Leary. Yeah, I'm aware there's a lot of... EVs are in their early days, or this huge proliferation of EVs, and there's a lot of development still ahead for electric vehicles, making the batteries more reliable, making them safer, making the cars travel further on a single charge. So we're still going to see a lot of development in EVs over the next few years. Arnold Johnson says, I quit cigs with vape, then nicotine lozenges. Are you now addicted to nicotine lozenges? Or is it just your body, Tim, that glows in the dark? I've sort of missed something here. I'm sorry, Pad Thai, I haven't kept up with that part of the conversation. Malcolm Hawkins says, G'day, Tim, from Jomtien. Why start a lithium mine when there's oversupply now and some mines have been closed in Australia? I've been in mining for 35 years. Well, again, let's wait and sort of see. Well, let's wait for the dust to settle on that story. I don't imagine a whole lot of graders descending on Phang Nga tomorrow. If there are large lithium deposits here that have magically been discovered in the last couple of weeks or years, then I'm yet to hear about it. Yeah, it looks like that Bangkok Post story is questioning the legitimacy of the report from Friday. Steve Smith says sodium batteries are the next tech. I did hear there was a future breakthrough, but once they start industry, then they push it until they recoup the R&D costs. Maybe Elon Musk will move there to corner the market, says Hans Schellenberg. Let's hope not. Everything he touches turns to dust. Glass of beer 12. Forget the batteries. Somebody needs to invent a portable air filter machine that somebody can wear on their back. Well, yes, you can get a full face mask, but not particularly comfortable, and not particularly comfortable in Thailand. Lithium is often washed out with sulfuric acid, very dangerous. Yes, I think there's been a lot of questions over lithium mining in the past, and rightly so. So I think a move away from lithium as one of the minerals used in the production of batteries, including electric vehicle batteries, is a good thing. Lithium batteries are a bit of a fire hazard. They have been, and some lithium batteries, when ignited, can burn very, very quickly and fiercely. I'm happy that they did not find gold. Sorry, Alpha Bravo. Imagine if gold deposits in Phang Nga, we'd be descended on people with their pans. How's the business going, Kun Tim? Very good, thank you. If you'd like to book one of the beach houses here at Turtle Beach, there's people, they're fully booked out at the moment, but I've got people moving out on Tuesday, and I've got people moving out on Wednesday. And then I think both are free for 3 or 4 days before the next people arrive. But yeah, you can go to Airbnb. Now, in the description of this video, there are links to both those particular beach houses. A third beach house coming online in probably about 6 weeks or 2 months. It's probably going to be called Bamboo Beach House. Exactly why, I'll explain a bit further down the track. How does your former employer channel stay solvent? Extremely low views, expensive office rent, something doesn't add up there, says City. I don't know. A different business these days run differently than when I was running the business and I was the CEO. I have no idea. But good luck to them, and I do wish them well. I've been very consistent in saying that, and I honestly do hope that they find a little bit of magic that will allow them to keep making money in the future. I note that their publication online, the tiger.com, is still doing okay. I mean, it's dropped a lot since maybe 2 years ago, but it's had some recent rises and some little dips and falls, but it's still doing okay. It's still the second most read English, it's English, Thai and Chinese these days. So it's a bit hard to compare it to, say, the Bangkok Post, which is in English only. Anyway, I don't really need or want to talk about Tiger, but I think they're doing okay. As far as I know, I've heard nothing to the contrary, and I do have people in there who call me from time to time going, "Ugh." But yeah, I hope they're all okay. Yes, it was very expensive office rent. Well, I remember when I had to sign off for the office rent every month, it used to scare me. Can we look for availability online if we'd like to be your customer? Pad Thai, yes. There's links in the description below which will take you to the Airbnb listing, which is one of the ways. Or you can just put in Bonneville Beach House or Coral Cottage Beach House in Phang Nga, and you'll find it on Google. It'll take you to Google. The Google listing, it'll take you to bookings.com, or it'll take you to Airbnb. Or you can send me an email direct at timnewtontoday@gmail.com, and you can book direct with me. Morning, Tim, from Sakon Nakon, from David Hodgson. Good morning to you. Bill G, hit that like button to help Tim out. Thank you very much. That's always very helpful. And Tim, Peter here from Sukhothai. Have you still got your Mercedes? Yes. The Mercedes has been getting a few things done to it recently. The passenger seat, getting a new dashboard, a few little things needed sort of cleaning up on it. The person who does it is a bit of a craftsman rather than a businessman and tends to work at his own pace. But I hope to get it back within the next 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm glad to say that I've now got a carport where I can keep the car and give it some protection, at least from the salt air here on the coast of the Andaman Sea. So yeah, still got the 1983 pale blue Mercedes-Benz. Are you at Marigold Mountain still, Tim? Asks Ty Line. Just answer it for me, would you, everybody? Off to Jomtien Beach now. See you, Dam. Thank you very much for joining us today. Ben's needs a name. Maybe Benjamin. Great. I don't give names to my cars. I'm not sure if that puts me out of fashion or something. I used to spend a lot of money on cars. Like a lot of money. And I've had some very nice cars in my life. I've had money at different times in my life. I've been very poor, like now, but happy, much happier. But I mean, I've had, but probably my favourite car, well, I had like a Lotus Esprit, a 1983 Lotus Esprit. I also had a 1996 Lotus Esprit. They were great cars to drive, but I wouldn't call them the best cars because they're cars you get in and enjoy on particular roads at a particular time. There's only 2 seats in the car, so they're not terribly practical. But I honestly have to say, this Honda HR-V I've had for the past 10 years has been the most reliable car built here in Thailand. Just goes and goes and goes. I've got to look after it. It gets serviced regularly. But a very easy, comfortable car to drive and completely no fuss. Almost no personality, but just a no-fuss, comfortable, extremely reliable and not very expensive car. But I've had some 25 cars in my life, and if I was going to make some sort of recommendation to younger viewers, don't spend your money chasing cars unless you've got the money to spend. Okay, what else we got? Honda has a higher reputation than Toyota in Thailand. Yeah, look, I think Toyota, there's the big 3. The Toyota, Honda, oh God, is it Mazda? All built here in Thailand. Very, very reliable. And all the Hondas, Toyotas and Mazdas you see driving around here are all built here in Thailand. They're all very, very good cars. I just happened to get that Honda HR-V, just fitted what I needed at the time. It was second hand when I bought it. And yeah, it's probably about 10 years old now. Great car. It's been very, very reliable. And then Miranda says, I've had 6 cars since 1980. And with that, I think we've sort of probably just done everything we need to do today. I've covered most of the topics I wanted to cover. What's the worst month? Oh, here's a question from Gorilla Pancake. I'll just quickly scroll back and make sure I haven't missed any super chats or any questions. What's the worst month for Thailand air pollution and what's the best? Well, from now until April, we're going to have the burning season, and it starts off in Bangkok. A photo for all the cyclists as they leave, the gaggle of cyclists, the bulge of cyclists. They're all about to head off from wherever they came from. Be about 20 of them, all in their lycra and their aerodynamic helmets and their funny shoes. So off they go. After enjoying a coffee here at Chip Fair Lele. From now until April, we've got the burning season. It starts off worst for Bangkok at this time of the year, and then as it sort of develops into February, March and April, it does get worse up in the northern part of Thailand. But believe me, we are going to see more about this topic covered over the next 3 or 4 months. I think the media is really going to go hard on this particular topic, and that's going to, I think, really affect the government and make an impact on their popularity. That's my prediction. Peter here from Sukhothai, Sukhothai Mercedes. I've done that one. Cheers, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Wrap up warm. Thanks, Tim, says Richard Woolley. I had one of those W124 Mercedes, which is the one I've got. It didn't have power steering. This one has got power steering. I had arm muscles like Arnold Schwarzenegger after a few months. Yeah, I can say that it is actually very reliable. It's got wind-up windows. There's nothing much that can go wrong with it. It's like got a start button, it's got a key, windscreen wipers, lights, and that's about it. There's just nothing that can go wrong on it. Most Mercedes, BMWs and Jaguars, plus other luxury car makes like Bentley, Rolls-Royce, used hemp plastics for dashboard and other inside parts. I wonder if Mercedes does, Tim. I've got no idea. I'll ask that question to Kun Lek when I next get down to Phuket and pick up my my Mercedes, which I'm looking forward to getting it back, actually. It's just a lovely car to drive. Completely no fuss. It does have personality, unlike the Honda HR-V, which is a lovely car to drive, but no personality. And thank you for joining us today here from the Thai Mueang beach. I'll say goodbye as I turn around. Those people still there. I'll just turn this down a little bit. There we go. And that's what I'm looking at outside the front window here. Just try and get that. There's all sorts of sunshine and shadows. I think it's looking very contrasty, actually. I don't know why it's looking so contrasty. Anyway, it will come back to me. As we, I've ruined everything now. Let's see, we're going to have to go more light. There we go. Is that looking all right? There we go. Oh, it's a bit bright. Anyway, it's not on auto exposure. Time to say goodbye. Thank you for dropping in. Hope you have a fantastic Saturday. Steve and I will be back tomorrow with Grumpy Old Men. Have a great weekend, whatever you're doing. And, of course, we'll be back next Monday to Friday with our weekly program. And I do have some ideas how we're going to tweak the program a little bit. I think you'll be cool with it as well. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel on the way out. We'll see you later.